Coming next on ITV, the ITN News headlines, followed by tonight's episode of Kojak.
What would you like to drink, darling?
Oh, I'd love a baby sham.
Hey, I'd love a baby sham.
What is that?
Baby sham.
Right, ready for tonight's competition, as I said earlier. On offer, this lovely, cuddly George. And because there was confusion over the number last night, we're going to put the number on the screen now. It's 01383 5520, and it'll stay there while I describe the film. A newspaper tycoon dies and a magazine reporter interviews his friends in an effort to discover the meaning of his last words. Halliwell says it's a brilliant piece of Hollywood cinema, using all the resources of the studio. Despite lapses of characterisation and gaps in the narrative, almost every shot and every line is utterly absorbing. Do you know what film that is? If you do, ring the number, but not yet. When we're into Kojak is soon enough, because now we have the very serious business of catching up with what's happening in the world as we go over to ITN for the latest news headlines.
"13 people have been shot dead by a gunman wearing hunting gear who went berserk on the campus of the University of Montreal in Canada. He opened fire at random and then killed himself. Most of the dead and the 20 injured were women. The killer may have had 2 accomplices. One is said to be under arrest, the other is still being sought. They were said to have been shouting anti-feminist slogans. About 300 army rebels in the Philippines have agreed to leave their fortified positions in Manila's business district and voluntarily return to their barracks. In what amounts to a surrender, the soldiers have given up their ammunition to loyalist forces. Earlier, they had allowed a temporary ceasefire to let hundreds of foreign tourists be moved to safety. The surrender follows a declaration of a state of emergency by President Cory Aquino. East Germany's government has tonight appealed for calm and warned people not to take the law into their own hands. Earlier, East Germany's first non-communist president took office. He's Herr Manfred Gerlach, the leader of the Liberal Democrats. He replaces communist hardliner Egon Krenz.
The final collapse had come swiftly. Professor Manfred Gerlach was acting as East Germany's new head of state. He's not a communist, but from the increasingly independent Liberal Democrat Party in the government coalition. Moscow on Monday, and even then it was clear that Egon Krenz as head of state was taking second place to his Prime Minister Hans Modrow, who did all the talking at the Warsaw Pact summit. Egon Krenz was already in trouble, unable to command the attention of this Berlin crowd who called for his resignation. The police are coming under public attack. This woman is angry at police violence during demonstrations. It's the power of demonstrations that finally toppled the communist leadership. A crisis Congress to restructure the party has been rushed forward.
Mrs. Thatcher sets off for the European summit in Strasbourg later today under mounting pressure to revise her stand on the community. An opinion poll in the Daily Mirror this morning says most people believe she's against Europe. 60% of those questioned think she's hostile. Less than half that, 29%, think she's friendly. That's it from ITN for the moment. We'll be back later on with more.
Get ready for Christmas on ITV.
Well, it's not long now, is it? Now, the phone's been ringing for the competition, but I warned you that I wouldn't be round there to answer the calls. So I'm sorry if you've already tried and not get through. However, the lines will be open in a couple of seconds when we go into Kojak.